This week at Stellar Scaffolding, I'm sick of being part of a generation where men's mental health is on the floor. It's 2025, it's time to talk, and in this week's episode, I'm going to disclose some facts. My name's Joe, we are Stellar Scaffolding, and this is episode 33. Michael, hello mate.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year mate, you okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good man. Basically, my client's been a little bit funny with how long it's all taken. Is there any way that, if possible, I could get maybe them to call you or you to call them and just let them know that it's just a process, or even an email or anything that I could just show them? Do you know what I mean?
I'll write some notes on some of the challenges we have with our processes.
Wicked. All right.
And the other thing that we did experience, the TfL had a cyber attack.
Oh really?
They messed everything up just before Christmas. It was all on the news.
Right.
So it's not a hidden thing. It was kind of, we had to keep it quiet at the time, but it all went on the news.
Right. Okay.
And it put us back weeks on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that can be also included into some of the issues.
No, good man.
All right then, Joe. I'll wait for your email and then we'll crack on from there.
Top man, Michael. That's Michael there from TfL, one of the main men of TfL. And I mean, this episode here, that kind of sets the tone for it. Obviously, at the minute, we've got so much about to start. Like at Chelsea Square, we're waiting on engineers. Tower Bridge, we're still waiting on final sign-off from TfL that hopefully is going to come very, very quickly the next couple of days. We've got other projects as well that it's all just, it's all a little bit up in the air. Obviously, project in Paddington where the client went bankrupt. Obviously, that's shut down. There's a load of stuff that's to go on there soon. So we're moving, but we're waiting for all these things to really fall in. And then there's some serious projects in line. We've got a big collaboration coming again soon with Asheville. So that is going to be coming to the channel very, very soon. We've got something there. Obviously, we've got these other projects I've just discussed. There's a lot happening. We've got a lovely project in central London coming up, something really, really special that we're proud to be a part of. So there's a lot coming up, but yeah, it's just one of those at the minute. It's like we're moving, but we're waiting for things to really kick off and go crazy. And obviously, as you know, the foundations now within this company are so strong, obviously. And what I'm going to talk about soon, I'm not going to do this now, is the impact that I feel that my story that went out last week has actually had. And some of the contacts and messages that I've had from people are, I'll be honest, is mind-blowing, and it's just made me realise an awful lot, but I'm going to touch on that in a bit. For now, I just want to tell you there's an awful lot coming in the pipeline. There's some really special episodes coming up. There's some special projects for us here that, you know, while we're day to day, we're going to show you the yard. I'm actually in the yard as it stands now, but there's just not a lot really worth showing you yet. That's the truth of it, you know. Like the gear comes out and goes out very quickly. We're getting new offices set up, so you're going to see, listen, without saying too much, yeah, there's an awful lot coming up, but at the minute, if I'm honest, the start of this new year, it's just we're tying up loose ends, we're getting everything set, ready to go, and yeah, we're just rebooting. And obviously for me, myself, the time off that I've had, like in 7 years of having this company, I've never had proper time off. Like I've literally not had time off. There's always been something, you know. And like this, like the start of last December, so 2023, as I was about to approach, you know, taking full ownership of the company. So that was like stressing me out the whole of that period. And there's always been something that's just been sat there. And this is the first time ever where that December's come, all the money's come in, you know, we've got people paid, and there's still things to pay, but there's, listen, it's a completely different time now. And we're, yeah, I feel like we're now at the bottom of this mountain. The foundations are strong, the concrete's been poured, you know, it's gone solid. We're all here, stood on top of it, and we're about to, you know, we're fully strapped in, fully PPE'd up, about to climb up this magic mountain to the top. There is some very serious things that I do want to approach on that I know is something very close to me, and judging by my origin video, I know is something very close to you. Now, first of all, so I didn't say this earlier, but Happy New Year to everyone. For me, this is my first proper week, days back into it. Obviously I've not really done a lot. The boys were back on the 2nd and 3rd. Sean was running them, and I was about, but didn't really do a lot. But as of now, things are starting to go again. The phone is ringing, and yeah, we've got some lovely stuff in the pipeline. So I do apologise, this episode is going to be a very in and out one. I'm sure you've already seen the duration is very small, but obviously it's still, we're just keeping up the Thursday night 7 p.m s. But there is a subject that I wanted to approach on, and ideally I would have it in and amongst an episode, but at the minute we're tying up loose ends. It's not really worth filming the boys for the sake of filming the boys. I know a lot of you want to see that, and if I'm honest, as a viewer, I like to see that as well. It's definitely the best stuff, especially when you get the music there and they're putting up these monsters. It's a lovely viewing. I love it myself. However, there is a deeper meaning that needs to be discussed today, and something that is very, very serious. Now, when I put out my origin story, I realised, obviously watching it back, and me going back over that period for me was, it was crazy. And obviously there's times, obviously I put my emotion out there, I was emotional, put it out, and yeah, like it was a mad time. But you know, and you can relate to this, obviously, when you're going through things, you don't realise, like when you're going through pain or trauma or a stressful time or anything, and you're up against it, when you're constantly fighting, when you're constantly putting out fires and you're fighting every single day, you don't have time to look back and feel sorry for yourself. You're too busy scrapping. And yes, that episode was called How I Build My 7-Figure Scaffolding Business. I know majority of you will know, and probably all of you will know, but just in case, it does not mean that I have £1 million in the bank, so there's no need to kidnap me yet. Okay, in terms of assets and everything else, what the business is doing, then yes, definitely, we are talking 7 figures. But I do not have £1 million in the bank right now. So if you're planning to kidnap me, pick someone else. I am not your man. More importantly, the things that I was going to discuss today are the most important things that I'll probably ever discuss on this channel. Now, when I first started this channel, my whole thing in growing this and working with my boys is that my business is not only for me. I want to go 1,000,000 miles with this thing, because I know that the further I go, people have to step up and step up and step up, and all that does is create big opportunities for those around me, and rightly so. You know, I cannot wait until I go further and further, and I'm looking back and I'm seeing my boys coming along with me through the journey. Do you know what I mean? Like stepping up, you know, taking on more, earning more. Do you know what I mean? All these things, it's like, that's banging. That for me is like, yes, come on, we are building something special. And that's why, you know, I'm looking at this now, my foundations are they're stronger than ever. I'm 32 years old, strapped in, and I am ready to come for the big boys, you know. And I mean that in like listen, I'm speaking to the big boys, you know, but I want to be competing with them. At the minute, yes, we're a good business, you know, becoming a good business. We're a startup, as you've seen it now, but we're getting to the point where we are a good business, We're respected on a low scale. Now, we're trying to really take it to the next stages, you know, so it's an exciting time. And like I say, the whole thing for me when I started this channel was, yes, it is for me and it's for my boys, it's for all of us. Then when I looked a bit wider, I thought maybe it's for the industry, you know, the channel's starting to build. There's no one out here really doing the same thing as I can see it. And, you know, I think for us, you know, I've then started to realize, well, maybe this is something for the industry. This is trying to change the face of scaffolding as a whole, you know, and I can feel that is a thing, you know. There's a lot of support behind us in the industry that I feel. Now, I went a bit deeper on my last episode, which was my origin story. And obviously, going back over that time, you know, there was some painful times there, you know. Obviously, like I said, you know, when you're in a battle, you know, you're too busy in the battle. I've been in a battle for 7 years, you know. It took me years and years and years to get to the point where things are semi-stable, you know. So, and I've got an awful long way to go still. But when you're in the battles, you don't have time to look back, you know. You're too busy scrapping, you know. And this time now, or certainly the end of the year, I look back and like some of these things were hard. But obviously I put that out there and I spoke about myself on a deeper level, you know, and it's like the response that I've had from people has been ridiculous, like on all platforms, This is still a little channel, We've got getting up to 12,000 subs, we've been going only 7 months, okay? But we're encroaching on 1 million views. We're just under 900,000 views. You know, our TikTok was quite busy, our Instagram, you know, the name's getting out there. We've got traction, and it's not just on YouTube, it is on other platforms as well. But with that, obviously, I'm getting a lot of messages. I will always respond to every single message I've got. And obviously, listen, the messages on these videos now, we're gaining traction, you know, the Stellar Army is building. A lot of you have been here from day 1, day 2, 3, 4, but we're building, you know. Comments are getting more and more and everywhere. And I respond to every single one, you know. And listen, I might regret that maybe in a year's time when we're as big as whoever, you know, and we're getting thousands each week. Listen, it might be a bit of graft, but I don't care, you know. I've said that you know, everything I'm doing. I want everyone involved in what we're doing, do you know what I mean? And when I put my episode out last week, yeah, when I put the origin story out, what I realised was, you know, I started this at first for me and my boys, yeah? That's how this business has always been, okay? When we stepped onto YouTube, my thing is, cool, well, I think this is for the industry. What my origin story taught me is I think we are doing this for the whole world. And when I say that, you're probably thinking I'm crazy, but the messages that I had off the back of putting that origin story out have been ridiculous. I've had men from absolutely everywhere just pouring their hearts out to me, you know? And do you know what that tells me? That tells me that people are desperate to talk but feel they can't. So listen, I am not gonna have a platform, yeah, that is building like this and leave anyone in the dark. So what I've now done is I've invested myself in a mindset coach, and all of these things that I am having and learning from them, I'm giving it to you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna have anybody struggle, yeah? I'm not gonna have anyone, yeah? Listen, if my thing on this planet is to build one good company and help people with their mindset, the way they live, to be inspired, drive and try and get things in life, then brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And I know on a small scale we're already doing that, yeah? And you can hear the passion in my voice. It's something that I'm massive on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do not want to see people struggle ever. This platform, it started out as a marketing thing for my scaffolding business, yeah? It is, and it is that, okay? And listen, to those of you that want to solely watch scaffolding, I'm sorry, this episode isn't that, yeah? Next week it will be, back on the tools. So if this isn't your cup of tea, then take your cup of tea, take your spanner, take your drill, and go outside, and we'll see you next Thursday at 7 PM. But for now, there's a massive problem that cannot be not discussed, yeah? Men's mental health is rife. We are in a generation where people are killing themselves left, right, and centre, and it's mad. Do you know what I mean? And like, listen, I'm not gonna build a platform and like not speak on these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is real stuff, and in my industry as a whole, it's massive, and it goes further than that, as I've realised, yeah? And listen, I'm massive on this. I myself used to struggle. I don't anymore, yeah? I'm very self-confident now. I believe in myself. Do you know what I mean? But it took a long time to get here. You know, when I'm looking at this channel now, I know that I've got a big responsibility, yeah? And there's a lot of people that are talking to me, pouring their hearts out, yeah? And listen, one of the things that I want people to know is no matter what position you are in today, yeah? You can be in a completely different position so quickly. One of the things I would say to anyone is get up. As soon as your alarm goes, get up, get out. That's your first win. Yeah, your body is going to tell you, oh, I don't want to. Your body's going to try and tell you the whole day you don't want to do things. It's going to tell you you don't want to walk into that room, or you don't want to go to that meeting, or you don't want to get on that treadmill, or anything. Listen, don't listen to that, yeah? Listen to this, and you got to control this. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a thing of get up and go. Like that alarm clock goes off, bang, we're up. That's our first win. Then after that, cool, let's start being active. Let's get out into the fresh air. Let's start being physical. You know, to you boys that are scaffolding, listen, if you're struggling, look at your diet. There's so many things that we can do, yeah? And listen, I don't want to go into too much depth of all of this yet, but what I'm saying is, there's a massive, massive, massive problem, yeah? And I already know that I'm helping people in the way that I speak, yeah? And that to me is everything. That means more to me than money ever will. Do you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, money to me is to help people anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I want to help people, and I'm not going to have anyone left behind. So when I say that this platform is for the boys or it's for the industry, no, this platform is for the people. This is the people's platform, yeah? And what you're going to see is you're going to see a young man build something big, yeah? He's going to show you how he did it, and the whole point of it is to show you that you can do it too. If you're with me and you back what I'm saying, I want you to put in the comments, #TimeToTalk. But yeah, listen, I know that episode is not the type of stuff that you guys want to see, but there's a massive, massive problem, and I just can't leave it. I can't leave people in the dark. And if you saw the messages that I've had recently, I'm not going to put them on here, yeah? But trust me, you would know exactly where I'm at with this, okay? And I've been genuinely mind blown by A, the volume, yeah, of people that are struggling, and B, the levels of how much people are struggling. But listen, like I say, we are going to be back to it properly next week. We have got an awful lot coming up. We're on for a big, big year. But throughout this process, there's people that are struggling, and I'm not going to leave them behind. So listen, with all that said, thank you very, very much to every single person who likes, comments, and is subscribed. If you haven't already, please do so, and we'll see you again next week for episode 34.